Hi, friends. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. Did you miss me? I did not broadcast on Thursday or Friday because of the holiday, but I am back in the office today. I am here this weekend. I'm here over the course of the week. And it is Saturday, which means we are going to do the Saturday Psychic Sampler. If you are watching an archive, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, you won't be able to answer or to ask a question or have me answer a specific question, but perhaps if you listen, you will hear something that resonates for you or makes sense to you. That's one of the values, I think, of doing the sort of group readings is, although I may be answering a specific person's question, if you're listening and it makes sense to you, that is also a message for you. That's how these things work. So we got people coming into the room. Neil, Christina, so nice to see you. Marcy, nice to see you. It's your birthday. Roxanne, glad that you're here. So it's Saturday, which means we're doing the Saturday Psychic Sampler. And that means you have to ask a specific question. The more specific, the better. I will do my very best to give you a specific answer. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope whatever holidays you celebrate during the winter festival season, you are having good ones. I hope you are happy and healthy and well. So let's see what we got going on here. I will take the questions in the order that I see them. Okay, Marcy Lakin, it's your birthday. So that's not a specific question, but I can turn it into a specific question because when we look at a birthday, that's a closure to 1 year, opening up to a new year. And of course, to have your birthday in the in-between week between Christmas and New Year is an interesting thing because we'll all be celebrating a new year. So let's see what we got going on for you at this anniversary of your birth and the time of your solar return. When we look at this past year, this has not been an easy year for you, Marcy. It has not been, but you have gained wisdom. You have learned much. You have had some good people around you. So you've done a really good job making the best of a difficult circumstance. When we look at the year that you are opening up into, I think 2021 and this new birth year, which is your double nickels. Oh, good. Double nickels is always a good year. So I think that as we look at this year for you, there's going to be a lot of new opportunities for business, for growth, for learning. And I think you're going to start to feel empowered to be really clear about what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. And that is a wonderful thing. And now if we were to pull just one card as a birthday card, isn't that fun? For you, it is the Eight of Wands. To recognize that at this point, time starts to move very, very, very quickly. And yet, there is so much in life that can still manifest. And to really be very open and hopeful for wonderful things to manifest in your life. And also to recognize what your skill is regarding communication. That can be psychically, spirit communication, communication with individuals, maybe writing, to recognize your communication skill, and that this year using that is going to be very important. Okay, Neil, should I open a group home? Oh, heck yeah. What a great idea. Make sure you figure out what the laws are, what the, you have to deal with all the official stuff. But yeah, it's a darn good idea. I love it. Okay. Roxanne, I'd like to know if the insurance company is going to approve the surgery I need. Let's take a look. My feeling is they will, but you may have to fight for it. Like you may get denied first and then have to fight. You may have to appeal. So if that happens, just appeal and know that you will win in the end. Don't get discouraged. Okay. Cagri, I would like to find out AJ's feelings about me. So that is such an interesting question. There's a lot of tarot readers in the room right now, half of which would say, well, then you should ask AJ. This is what we call a third party reading. There are some readers who don't prefer to do this kind of work. I think it's interesting as long as we do it from a perspective of, healing and not invasion, not invading someone's privacy, nor excusing someone's own responsibility for communication. So when we look at this, I feel like, there's a much deeper thing going on here. There may be some history between the two of you that needs to be taken into account, or some history in AJ's life, not having to do with you, but that does sort of help create how he is feeling. I feel like AJ thinks well of you as a human being, admires you. But if if this is a romantic thing, I would say no, this is not romantic. I would say, this is much more maybe friendship, but it doesn't feel romantic. And I don't even know if that's where you were going with this question, but I just want to let you know that. Okay, Sonia Singh. How is the path of being a healer going to work out for you? Well, my friend, you have always been on that path. How has it worked out so far? It is your natural inclination, whether you have always known it or always worked toward it or always admitted it. Have always been on this path, whether you realize it or not. So recognizing it and admitting it and doing it more purposefully is a good thing. But it is also going to be a challenging thing. The thing is, it's not even something that you would want to question because it so clearly is your path. You might as well ask whether or not you should breathe air. And so it will work out for you in the way that embracing one's true path always does work out. In the end, it's going to be a good thing. It's not going to be easy. But if you can just show up for it and be there for it, it'll serve you and it will serve others. That's the bottom line. Okay, Ray Franks, will I overcome difficult situations coming up? This is not the first time in your life. It is not the first time in your life, Ray, that you've dealt with difficult situations. Sometimes you carry them too much on your own and do not ask for help, even though there are people who would like to help you. Do not make that mistake this time. I think that it's going to take some time. I think it is going to take some friends, and it's going to take some clear realization and goals on your part. But yes, of course, you will get through this without questions. Kathy, I have a specific question. Is it a good idea for us to look for a different place to live in 2021? And the answer is, I think it is a very good idea. I think that makes a lot of sense. And now specifically you said to look in 2021, not necessarily to move. If you look in 2021, you may or may not move in 2021, but to start looking and figure out what is possible and what you can do is a good idea. If that does lead you to a move this year, that is also fine. That is also fine. But I would say be very careful. I like the idea of looking and figuring it out and taking your time as you do this. Lisa McCord, I'm house hunting. Good, you needed to be. On a deadline, but with time to spare right now. Will I get what I want or end up renting for one more year? I think it's good to be open to both possibilities and not feel rushed. But I think you know very much what you want, and there's a very good chance you will get it this year. I think it really is possible. Okay. Lori Hahn, I'd like to know if allergy treatments for my cat are going to help him or not, specifically breathing through his nose. Will the treatments help? Probably, I would say some. I would say it's probably worth it. I don't think it's going to be 100%, but it probably really is worth it. Elizabeth, some very amazing and miraculous things and situations occurred on December 22nd. That would have been my grandparents' wedding anniversary. My question is, have they been playing a part in the behind the scenes to the outcome of the two amazing miracles that occurred on this day? So cool. What a great question. And I would say yes, 100%. Yes, absolutely. Katie, should I launch now or wait? You know, I say wait a little bit. It's not a long wait. It's a little wait, and you will know when the right time is. Steffi, nice to see you. Would Little Red Reading Hood be a good name match if I go forward as an online reader? I think it's fine. I think it's fine, and I will tell you, according to the cards, it's fine. As a reading coach and a business coach, I'm going to mention a couple of things. Number one, there's already a Little Red Tarot, so there could be some confusion there you want to be careful about. And number two, I just energetically, and this is just me, the cards think it's fine. So I'm giving you my opinion, whether you asked for it or not. I hate I don't hate anything, but I have a hard time with the word little, using it just energetically, using the word little in anything that you want to go big. It just seems like a misnomer. So I personally don't love it, but the cards are okay with it. So, Sandy Stokey, is it critical that I keep pushing forward, or can I take a little time to recharge? So those two things are not mutually exclusive, because taking time to recharge, if you do it in a logical and appropriate and measured way, is part of pushing forward. So the answer is yes to both. You must keep pushing forward, but you are allowed, as part of that push, to take time from time to time to recharge. There you go. Rachel Perry, wanting to know if I should just walk away. You know, that's a hard thing, because there's a part of you that doesn't really want to. But I feel like it's worth considering. That might be your best option, quite frankly. And thank you all so much for your feedback. I do read it. I don't always comment on it, but I do read it. Okay. Stacy, nice to see you. What kind of job should I look for when going back to work? No, Barrett, you're not too late at all. Ask your question. Hey, Stacy, have you ever done bartending? I just think you would be awesome at it. I mean, not necessarily as a long-term career, but I feel like in the short term, if you needed to make some money, that would be great. And you might be able to get the right kind of hours. I think, there's a difference between the job you get now and the career you would have in the long run. And I think, as far as career is concerned, there's a lot to think about there. And you may even want to think about some kind of schooling or certification. But I feel like in the short term, you just want a fairly easy job that you can jump into and use your personality and make some money. And that's what you want to do first and foremost. Okay, Kathy Lombard, I'm happy to see you. How can I be patient and supportive with other people's journeys and not put my own expectations and needs, wants on them? Now, that is the $1,000,000 question for each and every one of us. So everyone listen up to this. Now, Kathy's answer may or may not be the right answer for you, but it's something we all need to ask. How can I be patient and supportive with other people's journeys and not put my own expectations and needs, wants on them? Why does this trigger my anxieties and insecurities? Well, it's so great when you can spend time with people who are further along on their journey or are sort of at the same place you are. It is very anxiety producing when you are dealing with people who are not where you are on the journey. And that's just a fact. That's normal. It's normal to be anxious in those circumstances. And one way to deal with it is, exactly what you're doing, to sort of say to yourself, you know what, this is their journey. This is where they're at. And it's not about me. And that's important. Now, when we look at the cards, I am wondering if this is a specific question regarding a specific relationship, because, it is a great overall question that we all need to be aware of. We all need to have good boundaries. We all need to recognize that we can be present for people's journeys, that we can be helpful, but no one can do anyone else's journey. But I just keep thinking that this is about a very specific relationship you have going on. And if I'm right about that, what you need to recognize is there are real feelings here. There is a real connection here. And yet, because of where this person is in their journey, there are ways it makes you hard to trust. It makes it hard to trust. Not that you're hard to trust, but it's hard for you to trust what's going on. It all comes down to a trust issue. And that's why it causes anxiety. And so the answer is allow the person room for growth. That at this point you can see the relationship this way and you can understand the relationship this way and you can trust the relationship this far. And don't try to take it further and don't try to plan a future for now, but allow there to be growth for the future. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? Okay, Christina, should I only apply to jobs in the department I want, or should I expand my job search and take what I can get for the experience and try to transition into my desired department later? And I'm so happy that we're now looking at this question. We've been getting through school for the longest time, and now it is time for you to apply for jobs, and that's beautiful. So, only in the department you want, or cast your net wide and narrow down later? Either have their advantages and disadvantages. For now, I'm going to say start with only the department you want. Start with that and see where it goes, and be willing to widen it up later if you don't find what you're looking for. So first one and then the other is a backup. Okay. Oh, Elizabeth, very good. I'll look forward to speaking with you. Cassia, what kind of job do you need as a second job? I would say, something where you can make some money, not have to work too hard. I keep thinking something in food service, where you can make some tips, make some money, and maybe learn some stuff. Hey, Denise Robinette, I haven't seen you in a long time. Do you see me keeping my rentals or selling my homestead and moving north? Well, it's an interesting question, and it may take a minute for you to figure out, what you want to do here. Um, I feel like if you were to move north, there are some things about it that you would like, and the change might actually be really good. Um, Obviously, you need a new wardrobe, but hey, that's okay. Should you move north? I think it's worth considering. I don't know that you're ready to make that decision, but I would say it is at least worth further exploration. Okay. Barrett, should I finish my education since I'm feeling myself heading into another direction with tarot and work? I feel like you're looking for excuses not to finish your education. And I feel like if you do finish your education, you may want to wait a minute and really think about what direction you want to take that in. I do think it's a good idea, but maybe not right now this minute. In the long run, yes, but not right now this minute. Okay, so from my perspective, I have answered every question. For those of you just coming in, I will remind you this is the Saturday Psychic Sampler, where I take your specific questions and answer them. So if I accidentally missed you, please reiterate. If you have not asked a question but want to, now is the time. Go ahead and put your question into the chat. Meanwhile, I want to remind you about StarCon, STAARCON. That is our new annual tarot conference about tarot and so much more. All things magical and mystical. In 2022, it will be held in Palm Beach Gardens as well as online. In 2021, it will be online only. So you don't need a hotel room. You don't need a plane ticket. And the classes that you miss because you can't take more than one class at once, or because of your time zone, you have 30 days to watch. We are running 4 tracks of classes. It is January 22nd through 24th. Tickets are available now. Ticket prices range from $5 to $499, depending on how much conference you take. And so go to starcon.com, STAARCON.com, check it out and get your tickets. It is going to be fun. Oh, a little more north of Palm Beach, Melbourne area, not north. Okay, still probably need just tiny warmer clothes. And does that change the reading? No, I think it's still something to consider. I think it absolutely could work. I think there's reasons either way. And so it's worth concerning. Okay, Lillian, will my business succeed? I think there's some things that you're going to have to make some real effort to make it succeed, but I think it has that possibility if you're willing to do what it takes. That's really the bottom line. You got to be willing to do what it takes, but yes. Okay, so this is last call for your specific questions. And again, I want to remind you about StarCon. I also want to remind you that our last online tarot meetup of the year is happening Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet. Okay, just a couple of more questions coming here. Jill, my son didn't land the job in Colorado. Oh, I'm so sorry. It looks like he got so close to that. Any new energy around him? What's interesting is they may yet call him. Whoever they choose may not work out. So they may still call him, and one way or the other, there will be a new job for him within the next few months. So tell him not to lose hope. Okay, and Varnica, will I lose weight and how soon? You have to figure out how you're going to do it. I feel like you have a plan. I'm not sure if the plan you have is going to work as well as you would like, but I do feel like within the next 6 months, you will get a handle on all of this and figure it out. So ultimately, yes, you will be able to do that. Folks, I want to let you know I am available for readings this weekend, next week. I work while you play. The in-between week, in between Christmas and New Year's, is a great time to get a reading. And a reading for the new year is a great thing to do. So just reach out. You can private message me here. You can schedule directly on my website, tarotbychristiana.com. You can also call or text me, 561-655-1160. Thank you so much. I will look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.